Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is the beginning of August. I know last video we were talking about the beginning in the sense that after the 31st ran, we talked a little bit. But now this is the play of the day, playthrough of the day, August 1. So we're still unloading here and we talk. I'm a bit nervous. Okay, just real quick, recap. We didn't take any we talk on our shock attack. We are still unloading. We got a lot more troops to go. I have learned the value of APAs, by the way, which I'm going to make sure I pull more into all the theaters. But anyway, so anyway, back to the story. We're unloading more. We've got more stuff coming in within range to unload, I think, today. We'll see. And then do another shock attack. What's making me nervous is he could have KB somewhere ready to do some damage to us. He easily could do that. I have nothing I have some escort carriers with fighters on it, but he would trash that. So I may lose some stuff here a lot. We should take on a we talk with what we have here now. Um, but instead of rambling on, let me continue forward. But that's the story there and we talk. Also, if he does use Keto Butai, the beauty of that is as bad as it will be. The bright side will be now I know where he is. I will be a bit more uh, I'll be less concerned, a lot less concerned about my other invasions. So if he shows his face, it'll be bad, but the bright side is, he'll expose his position. We shall see. He may be waiting for our carriers to show up to do something. He may be staying defensively there by the Marianas. He may be content letting us take the rest of the marshals. I have no idea. He's very tight-lipped, I mean I appreciate his style and the fact that he's keeping it interesting. I I'm intrigued. I mean he may not have any upper hand. I have plenty of stuff. People say allies can lose a lot, don't worry, be aggressive, this, that, the other thing. But I promise you, um, I'm still fascinated with you know, what the strategic situation. And I've said this before, sorry to keep beating the same drum, but if I could sink one, two, or three, preferably more, of his fleet carriers, I'd feel a lot more comfortable. All right, we are capping Changsha with some Chinese fighters. I think. I mean, I know I am. I just, all of a sudden, I'm thinking, did I set it up right? Oh, yeah. Okay. So some of our fighters are flying low. The P-40E Warhawks are flying lowest to really, because they have the best gun value. The P-43 Lancers are flying highest to meet the sweeps. I'm surprised the H-81, basically P-40Bs, I'm surprised they're fighting first simply because they are in the mid altitude. The P-40Es were closest to the same altitude as the Sallies. But here's the other thing: whatever gun value my P-40Bs have, the E's are better. However, have a higher value. However, it looks like the B's were doing better damage. The E's aren't really doing a lot. They're not doing as much as I hoped. I'm going to kind of push through this because it's just when I'm fighting bombers, it's kind of not as interesting. Although I don't like fighting his fighters. Not these Chinese lads aren't quite as well equipped or trained as the American got a version in Burma. But let's go, or the British. Now we basically wiped out 15 bombers here, and our flak may or may not take out anymore, and we certainly can, hopefully after this bombing run, maybe get some more action, but we don't. So this is 8 destroyed, but we took out 15. I'm sure that's frustrating, and I know I'll admit I didn't get the better of him. His sweep just didn't go first, so I'm probably going to take a thrashing with his sweep, but I just wanted to, you know, listen. I'll take the victories when I can get them. I hate that for him that, you know, I mean, one could say, well, then why did you do the cap if you feel bad for it? Well, actually, I thought the sweep was going to go first and expected to get trashed. Um, I don't know what to say. We have talked at length before about the value of sweeps, how to hope or set it up so that sweeps go in first. We've both had situations where the bombers went in first and the sweeps later. So I'm thinking that he knows and expects that stuff like that will happen. Um, all right, here's his sweep. Our P-43s are at the highest, although they may have dropped down. Yeah, he's diving on us, so they dropped down to the level of the bombers, and now they're in a disadvantaged position. So I'm going to push through this because really it's going to be a turkey shoot but reverse. The Japanese will get the better of us, so we're going to lose a lot of fighters here. So carrying on, we lost, yeah, a lot of fighters. It was still worth the 15 bombers shot down, but I hope and hopefully I did see something, a message. It's possible that it was just saying that one of our task forces slowed down to let someone catch up. We're hitting, hopefully, we had 2 reports of hits. Hopefully we're doing enough damage to this submarine that it'll go away and we can safely land at Ambon. It right this second, it looks like he does not see our invasion fleet. That may change by the end of this turn. Um, okay, we're bombing like we did yesterday. And by the way, if we'd have bombed 2 days in a row instead of skipping 2 days ago, if we had bombed that day and then this day and anyway, long and short of it is we may have had a better result yesterday. That said, it doesn't matter. It's moot. We're just doing what we can now. And it looks like we're doing some good damage. I'm flying a little bit lower this time at 8,000 feet, and it looks like we had some decent hits. Um, and the air phase is over. I'm crossing my fingers that he hasn't spotted my invasion force, so we'll sneak there into Ambon tomorrow. So that looks like 2 torpedo hits. That should sink this ship. Let's Yep. And oh, please. Okay, a tanker hit is always a good result for me. And we dive deep, get underneath the depth charges, or he doesn't find us. And 2 torpedoes, that should sink it. Let's see. Okay. So, yep, one less tanker for him. It, we we have no idea if he was carrying fuel. I doubt it, but because usually it will say if fuel cargo is being. Um, see, this is our engineers. I wanted to unload engineers ASAP so we can build this base up quickly as soon as we capture it. Now that's hoping we actually capture it this time. But I don't like follow-up. I don't like following up an invasion with reinforcements because I'm always nervous that at any time he's going to send in something to harass us, and then we'll lose the follow-up troops. So I like to get them all in the first wave if I can, just to get our engineers, hopefully aviation support, everything right away. Get some fighters in there as soon as we take the base, hold the line, etc. Well, this bombardment was actually very successful. I mean, was had a pretty decent result for him. But we're gonna assault him, and we should have better odds. We've doubled our attack value. Plus, his forts are lowered. So here's our shock attack. Let's see how we do. All right, at least we capture the base. He looks like he is wiped out. Nope, he lost 2 units, although the rest may get lost in the attrition. But look at these results: 123 destroyed squads, 365 non-combat, etc. So that's a good result. We did lose a lot in our shock attack, so that's not ideal. But now we can recover, rest and recover. Man, that was bloody. But you know what? We've had better invasions, so this is more of a realistic, historical result. Losing this much is, I can't complain about other invasions. So this one being as costly as it is in a way kind of cool. Yeah, he lost a unit by attrition. Okay, I'm going to let you look at the map very briefly, and then we'll take a break and prepare for August 2. Um, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what I want to show you when we come to it. Um, After we see what we got here, hopefully some reinforcements. If not, we'll just jump right into it. First, I thought I would jump in here and show you the results of the air action. Because of operational losses, we lost as many as he did. So he lost literally only 15 bombers, and that's it. So let's take a look I mean, we can confirm that, but so he lost 15. This 19 is absurd. And so he lost nothing else, but we lost a smattering of stuff here with Chinese aircraft. Here, 4 P-40Bs equivalent. 2 air transports, of course, why not? 1 search plane. You know, you can see this spread of losses here. We did also lose, so we lost basically 1, 2, 3, 7 aircraft to his 25. I mean, sorry, 15. I wish 25. That's a decent. I'm okay with that. We did lose 3 killed pilots, possibly all Chinese. We'll see. 3 wounded. Actually, I don't know how detailed I'm going to get in looking, but as we can see here, we sank 2 ships. One was a cargo ship. Decent, it looks like, for the points, 10. Okay. And this one is a really good ship, 18 points, and it carried a lot of cargo, so we'll take that. And then, okay, this is really what I want to show you. See this? Invasion force, no spotting. And we're right by his sub. Now, I considered sending AMs or something here. I considered a bunch of different things, but I got to thinking, and here's some follow-up stuff, it looks like. I got to thinking that, and he didn't spot these either, so that's good. I got to thinking that I really want to surprise him here, so let's not even mess with this sub. We can slink in behind him. Even these ships will just go in right back here. We did bomb him a couple of times. I don't know if we hit, but that's so I'm really impressed with this operation. Over here, similarly, he hasn't spotted us, although I don't know where he would come from to spot us. I'm sure he has some aircraft doing something from Babel Daub, but he still hasn't spotted these cruisers. The cruisers now, I'll probably leave here one more day, and then we'll just sit here. That's fine. I'm not in a rush. As these slink up toward Manokwari, I'll jump in line and we'll carry on from there. So I'm starting to think, I'm going to say this real fast. I know I'm going to jump into August 2. I want to keep this moving, but I did want to say I'm noticing that our supply lines are stretching. For example, Pago Pago is getting untenable to be used as our base of dropping supplies and fuel. I'm going to have to, but as we've now taken NOE talk, and it looks like wiped him completely out, so that's good. Now that we've taken Anna We Talk, I think this is so isolated that we will be totally fine just sailing through this area and bypassing. Don't even bother with Pago Pago. Just bring stuff straight to Kavieng or Manus. But so this we need to move our base of operations forward. And when I say that, I don't mean just air bases and naval bases. I'm talking about where we unload the bulk of our supplies and fuel for um, further operations. The other thing is headquarters and army units and division. Well, divisions have their own HQs, but corps and army HQs as well as air. I'm getting to where by the time I set up an air HQ somewhere, or army for that matter, or corps, I'm already moved on to the next base. So I'm not sure the best way to position them in such a way that they can be there for a little while. Because it's like as soon as they land, I'm thinking, oh, they need to be pushed even more forward than this. So I'm trying to keep up with that. I know you've been watching these videos and say, "What do you mean? You're kind of moving slow." But anyway, and I probably am moving the rear stuff slowly. Maybe everything is slow, but the point is, the what I'm trying to do, what I'm looking forward to is getting into places like D- Mindanao, and especially Luzon, because as soon as I get into positions like this, an army unit can sit there for a long time and support capturing all the bases. And even position like, say, for example, Apari. Not that I'm saying I have no idea where I'm going to end up these armies or core HQs, but they can be positioned in such a way to help further operations up on these islands, for example. But yeah, it just feels interesting trying to keep the things moving forward, leapfrogging myself and whatnot. Um, I don't know, but if I could get an Army HQ, let's say Ambon, that won't be a bad place to position one, so that basically it has a radius of 9 hexes, and here from here it could support. Well, real quick here, I know I'm taking longer time than I wanted. Yeah, it could support Kandari for sure, but not really Makassar unless we position it at Kandari. But then from Kandari, it couldn't necessarily support turn 8. So I don't know. I could always try to figure out how to get 2 armies over here. Anyway, that said, I'm gonna move on and thank you for joining me. And when I say army, I guess I meant like the South and Southwest Pacific. But maybe if I put the South Pacific at Sorong and the Southwest Pacific at Kandari for temporary purposes until we get into other places like the Philippines, this would be a good base to operate, and maybe later Makassar or whatever. But then the other guy could go to Sorong and then Ternay and support other operations. But that's for another time. Back to what I was saying. Thank you for joining me. I guess we're jumping into the second, so I won't necessarily wrap here. Okay, it's August 2, 1943. We should be hitting Ambon today, although it'll just be unloading. That's not a base that will require an assault, direct assault off the transports. So we'll see how that goes, but it'll we should be bombing. We are bombarding. You can see here. We'll kind of knock this out here. Um, We hit it pretty good, it looks like. Do some damage to the base, supply, fuel, and the troops there. Um, Carrying on. Oh, well, how did the I-25 get here? Well, that's not good. We sank the I-25. The Cleveland may be okay. We're just gonna 29 hits though. The I-25. It probably see two things might have happened here. One, he may have been on what's it called, reaction range 1. So as soon as we come in here, he slipped in to hit us. Or we hit him with bombers, and so he was trying to come back for some basic repairs. Either way, he got in, fired 6 torpedoes, one of them hits. It doesn't look like I mean, based on only this data here, it doesn't look like we're gonna sink, but who knows? And that sub is destroyed. And now this is where troops are being unloaded. All of our task forces should be carrying some kind of or include some kind of offshore support. Look at this. This is uh I don't even know what this is. This is I don't know what unit this is, but like all of the stuff is gonna come off disabled. I think that's gonna be I think we're gonna be challenged to take Ambon because everything is gonna come off with 0 assault value. We do have a lot of assets hitting Ambon. A lot of assets. Um, so we should be okay. But let's get through this. We'll check the map and talk about things. With all these, well, it was nighttime, but with all these destroyers, escorts, that would have been cool. No hits on the I-6. And I think I saw we fired 4 torpedoes at the I-6. That's fine. So if nothing else, he's definitely down 1 submarine. And finally, the I-25, which I think we quote unquote sank once upon a time, um, resurrected, and now we're I think it's more certain. Okay, this is gonna be cool. I'm just sweeping just to kind of see if we can shoot down some of these guys. I'm okay with just doing like a sweep here and a sweep there. We don't have to. I'm not even bombing Bangkok. I'm just doing this sweep to see if we can shoot down some of these caps. Then we'll go back home and repair and prepare for maybe in a week, or 4 to 8 days, come back. I will say that when we get Pegu and Rangoon sorted out, we'll I'll go back to bombing Bangkok again. Okay, so I don't want to spend all day with this, in front of me. It is cool because we don't get to see a lot of these. But let's carry on. See if we see like what I'm hoping for is we started with less aircraft than he was capping with, so I'm hoping to see some P-38s left after clearing the sky. Let's check it out. Wow. Actually, we didn't do a half bad job. Took out a lot of Tojos and for no losses of our own. All right. So our flak is still doing decent job, although he is doing his own decent job hitting our supplies, so that's not good. We did shoot up a bunch of his bombers that hit Changsha the other day, but he's probably replaced that beat up squadron with another one, and he's just going back at it. All right. So the hope here is not just beating up the airfield, although that's a very important task, because the hope there is to keep him from building up forts. But the secondary goal is to knock out his supplies so that maybe we'll have an easier time dislodging him from Pegu / Rangoon. So we're hitting ground targets there at Ambon, but well, I mean, we're aiming for ground targets, but that raid didn't do anything. Ooh, we lost a Vengeance 1. Let's see if we can hold on here. Alright, we are taking some damage though. Alright, flying in with our Mitchells. Let's see if we do anything here. Still nothing. Well, it is heavy rain. I guess that affects things as well. Okay, so I guess that's it for. Oh, okay. I'm not. Oh, they're right. I moved some. Okay, I know what that is. Um, yeah, still unloading here. Yeah, I was looking at the stuff that unloaded at Eniwetok. The stuff that was on AKAs unloaded really fast. The things that were on straight APs took forever. I mean, didn't unload in 2 days, and half of it was still on transport. So I've learned a lot about. I probably should have learned that a while ago, but I've learned a lot about the value of APAs, AKs. See all this? So we've got Armored Brigade, Australian Division. We've got a Army Tank Regiment. Um, they're bombarding us, but they take the brunt of that counter battery. We've got artillery here, engineers. The engineers are probably mainly so that as soon as we take the base, we can convert it really fast. Um, Base Force, some of these things are there for, but he's here with less than he had at NOE Talk, but I have no idea the strength of his forts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an attack. You can't schedule an attack the day you invade. I mean, unless it's an atoll and you auto shock, but this is a thing where I'm going to have to um, schedule an attack. And I'm going to do just a bit straight um, uh, I can't think of the word now. But a straight deliberate attack, that's the word. Okay, yeah, it's the end of the week. I'm not thinking straight, but deliberate attack. Worst case scenario, we just don't take it, but we're not going to get wiped out or anything. And then we'll plan accordingly after that. But we may just outright take it. So we'll see. Here's another, pardon me, here's an example of what I was talking about. Here at NOE Talk, we have an amphibious task force where we have a transport unloading, and these five uh, assault transports, and all these emptied in one day. This is on day. This is like tried to. Oh, okay. Let me quickly try to quickly explain something. So this task force was 6 hexes out from in a we talk, let's say here, and they had to, well, maybe closer. Okay, so it's probably 6, but they had to get here, not the second that we just ran, but the first. They had to get here, and I thought, well, they'll get here and unload a little bit and help us assault, do a shock attack here at a we talk. But we won't get very much off, right? Well, all 5 of these completely unloaded in one phase of unloading. So as soon as I saw that, and I didn't point that out when I was talking a little bit about it between the first and the second. I didn't talk about it, but I noticed that and I was like, wow, I really need to organize my APAs more and make sure they're in key areas, especially where there are atolls or small islands, by the way. Small islands also count for that. Because the more you can get off and hopefully fresh and in fighting condition, the better, the easier it is to assault and take these bases. Because you're gonna shock attack anyway. You might as well be ready for it. Um, Now, anyway, and then you can see here this AP is still got a little bit of supply. It's mildly annoying that that's the case, but it is what it is. I'm probably gonna do something, try to figure out how to, because what I want to do is immediately um, uh, take this infantry division off the island to empty out some of this overstacking. Anyway, that's for a different conversation. But also I wanted to show you, if we look at the soft, you can see here high disruption and fatigue big time. So I want to get these off and rest them back at home base. I say home base, whatever the base is. Probably, most likely Kusai Island because it doesn't have a limit. But also you can see here the TOE. We were beat up big time in this invasion. And even though there's 100% TOE here, no, that wasn't in the battle. This is 50%. You can look here. Look at this. This USN base force got trashed trying to shock attack. So you might argue that I should have left them on the amphibious task force to unload after we took the base. I did not think about that. And again, I didn't even know we were going to unload more than like a small token amount off of those. But because they were on APAs, they just came in like off the transports firing. And this combat engineer regiment got trashed also. So we got a lot of work to do to rebuild our our engineer force. But but we're also at 0 damage on the base, so we're ready to and let's see here too. The tank battalion's ready to go. The infantry division not so much. It's still packing. So I'm gonna let this transport unload. It's only 102 supplies. I mean, it shouldn't take too long. And then we'll flip this to transport mode and try to get everything off that we want. All right, I would move on, but let's do what we normally do here with report real fast. And I'm gonna, oh, you know what? Instead of saying I need to remember to look at that cruiser. Let's look at it now while I'm thinking of it instead of forgetting it. Okay, I want to see where it is. All right, is this still sitting here? Okay, it wasn't damaged enough to break off into an escort task force, so that's not bad at all. Now it does have 15 major damage. I think, let's see, it's literally exactly 10,000 tonnage, so I could take it to Brisbane. I may take it all the way to Sydney though, but I'll have to break off some destroyers and escort it. But we'll look into that when it's time. I just wanted to point that out because people may be curious how our um, Cleveland fared. Okay, back to this. We already looked at this, so I'm gonna skip down here. Actually, I'm going back up. We do have another ace here in our 449th Fighter Squadron. This is the group or squadron that flew over Bangkok and shot up a bunch of his Tojos. All right, and okay. So okay, airfield size 4, but that's his. Trincomalee port 8, that's cool. Shortlands port port size 6. Korea, okay, so you can see all this upgrades. That's a lot actually. And then we got some refits, pardon me. BX replacements. Okay, I'm just probably taking too much time looking at all these. So we have some coastal artillery and AA that I want to prepare for positioning in various forward bases. Bases we haven't even taken yet, but I'm getting them ready. We got a couple of convoys disbanded, so we got some extra supply and material from there. And then we've got a new patrol craft and a patrol aircraft squadron. So that's good. And we are understanding that the I-25 has been sunk. That should be a gimme, but you never know. So we shot down 14 of his Tojos. One destroyed on the field. I am not sure what that is. We each lost something to flak, but that's because we lost that vengeance, and then we lost 7. He lost 8 ops losses. So total is 24 to 8. So 3 to 1. Now, according to this is way overstated. Tojos, he didn't lose 21, but he did lose a lot to air, and you can see the 0 everything else. And then I don't know what this ground is. Glenn, oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be the aircraft that was on his I-25. And this kind of confirms the I-25 sank. So that's a good thing. We did lose 3 B-25Ds. Not sure what that's all about. We lost a Vengeance 1, well 2, but 1 to flak, and then you can see the rest here. You know, one thing that stands out here is we did not lose a C-47 or any other transport aircraft. So that's a major shocker. Okay. So I don't know what his pilot losses are, but because they're Tojos, my understanding, I've never played Japan. My understanding is Japanese army pilots he has plenty of. So even if we killed like let's say 7 of his pilots, 6, 5, whatever, he probably can easily replace them. We lost one. It might be the flak, but who knows? Oh, that reminds me. I do want to check this. So we lost 0 of our P-38s. I will quickly go over here to Burma and tell them, hey, don't go. Oh, that's right. It's a new name. I was looking for X Squadron. So I'm gonna stand down for now because I just don't want them to over extend themselves. The service rating on here is 3, so they'll wear it'll wear out quickly, and we'll have trouble keeping them in the air, and then we'll only have like 15 available. I just don't want to wear them out too quickly. We can always sweep, you know, in a few days. And with this status, 14 fatigue, 21 aircraft serviceable. I think very soon we can do that again. I feel comfortable with that. All right. Next is to look at. I didn't look at ship sunk, so let's take a look. Now it's not showing that sub, so that's unfortunate. I'm pretty confident that it's sunk though. I mean, we heard it. I guess I shouldn't be confident because that they've come back from the dead before. So okay, also, let's see. Okay, I don't want to be here just yet. I did because I wanted to look at that P-38 squadron, but otherwise, I didn't. Okay, we've got a straggling. Okay, these are coastal AA, so maybe they'll get here in like 3 days. All right, looking at this, he hasn't spotted us. So we're gonna go in and I'm gonna bombard. I've got a bombardment group here. We're good to go. I'm gonna pull the trigger. This was sitting here on purpose, but it's gonna go in and just play surface defense and maybe offense if he decides to do something. We'll see. But this is coming in behind. It's moving at a decent clip of 6, I believe 6 per day, and we can look here, and it looks like it's going to take about 3 days. So what that means is we'll unload this turn. That's day 1. We'll probably need to unload a second turn to get enough, and also kick off an assault. That should be easy enough, by the way. And then the third turn we'll have captured it, and then this guy will swing in and unload some coastal AA. And there that way, if he has some air units here at Babel Daub that are gonna harass us, we'll have some aircraft here. Um, but let's take a look at what we got at Ambon. We talked about Central Pacific a little bit. I mean, our success in a we talk. I have nothing more to share with you just yet. We except whatever I've already shared, and that is that all this area now is ripe for picking. I'm gonna try to get some air units out here to give us uh, to make me feel safe in this area. We need to make sure we're covering in case he decides to bombard us. But anyway, then we look at one cool. Sorry, I just keep coming back. One cool thing about Inui Talk is see this ring of coral. He's gonna have to loop around to bomb, even if he bombards, and that extra few hexes, like I don't know, 2 or 3 hexes, will allow us. Might deter him because he knows that that's gonna add operations to his operations points to his movement, and then we can maybe strike with ships or planes on his way out. We'll see. Anyway, so back to here, we're heading into there now. Ambon, we are going to. Well, I am going to. I'm thinking about why these don't have replacements on. So I'm just gonna say toggle replacements on for everybody because we want to. We're gonna take some damage here. We want to be able to replace our losses. Um, Deliberate attack, which will mean our artillery will bombard and the rest of the guys will assault. But the 7th Australian will unload a few more. We've got the 4th Armored, that'll unload more. And more artillery. I'm sure, well, looks like maybe we got all of our artillery off except for some 25 pounders. The 7th Australian also has some guns. We should be in good shape to assault next turn. We got a tank unit with a few tanks, and it's not overloaded with tanks. So I think we're looking fine. I'm gonna pull the trigger on this assault. I'm not gonna wait and worry about recovering anything. We're just going in. We may kick him out and he heads toward Bulla, but that's fine. He'll die in the woods here, in the jungles. And we'll see to it with our bombers as well. And here's our carriers, which he hasn't spotted, and we're just sitting out, chilling out here, because if we've got a lot of patrol action here, so if anything comes within our sights here, we will make sure and hit pretty good. Um, and like I've said before, as soon as this base is captured, of course we're going to build it up, and then we're going to use it as a launching board for Kendari. And I don't mean we're actually going to pick up troops here. I just mean that this is where we're going to have air cover flying over here. And then likewise, by taking Manokwari, we're going to have air cover flying over Sorong or other places that we want. Now, the problem with Manokwari is if we put aircraft here, he could swing down and bombard us at any time. And that is a serious threat. So we'll probably have some cruisers in the area or something like that, just deterring that. So yeah, I think we're in fine shape. And I am trying to think of things that I might want to point out, but I don't think anything in this specific area that I wanted more to say. Um, okay, so our infantry division, 11th East African, is still slowly moving down, trickling down this road, but we're halfway there. Okay, so we're halfway to here. I don't know that I'm gonna wait for like 4 to 6 more days for this artillery just to get here. That said, I mean, I'm not gonna say I need to go sooner than that either. It could be fine either way. Um, anyway, so we did the sweep. We bombed this airbase. Um, I'm probably going to ignore Chiang Mai for now, just for now, because I might rest my bombers one day, and then, nah, I don't need to rest them. This is the assault on Pegu and Rangoon is a few days off still, so we'll keep the action hot. But yeah, we are in position. I believe all of our transports are here. So this is just some. Okay, this is some AMs. All right, we're just gonna go into Calcutta, and looks like we're in okay shape here. This is some more AMs. Basically, I just want to have these minesweepers either attached to some of these. I could even say, hey, oh, never mind. We need to fuel up, and then we'll send them out, and we'll ride along with some of these uh, cargo task forces. Um, but yeah, we have plenty of transport capacity here, and very soon we will pull the trigger on this. I want to make sure I've got my task forces ready to go. I've got the Hermes with some escorts. I've got a surface cover task force. I think actually, yeah, there's a heavy cruiser here. I may put that. Ooh, the Exeter is really good for anti-aircraft. I think I need the anti-aircraft more here, and so I'll take one of these heavy cruisers, the one with the least anti-aircraft, and I hate to say it that way, but which is the Frobisher. I mean, also it's the least valuable gun, but that's fine. So we've um, got this surface combat task force to escort the air combat, and then we're basically going to come in here, and we'll use the cruisers to bombard and the carrier to kind of hang out. But also, I noticed something because of the range. I may put my P-38s here and fly cap to Port Blair, long range cap, because I don't know what he's going to do, and I just want to make sure we're keeping his Betties and stuff off of our transports. Who knows how it's going to play out? I'm very nervous about this operation here. I keep being tempted to hit something easier like Little Andaman first, but I think we're going to take Port Blair still. Um, I'm confident enough. And I don't see any patrol craft here, but who knows? Maybe they're hiding and whatnot. But we do have a good recon on here, but maybe he flew them off. His all his aircraft that were here at Bangkok are here at Chumphon, and trying to be safe there. What would be funny is because I could bomb that easily enough from Tungu and Prom with our long range. He wouldn't expect it, but he probably has a lot of direct cap over there as well. Pardon me. And see all these bombers? That makes me nervous. And auxiliary, that makes me nervous. Um, like as soon as we come in here, he's gonna fly all those bombers, and maybe he has some zeros. Pardon me. For long range fighter sweeps, sweeps and escort, and so maybe he'll just wipe out whatever air cover we have, destroy our transports. But you know what? If I do this correctly, I'll have some inherent anti-aircraft within the groups within these transports, and we can shoot down a few of his aircraft with anti-aircraft. Plus, if I really spread out everybody on all these transports, it'll be bare minimal um, uh, load on each, and maybe they'll unload fast, and then we can get out of there with loss, but relatively minimal effect of our overall operation. Anyway, all that to say, I'm gonna still pull the trigger. I just am very. I may have to bomb this Chumphon um, within the next couple of days to kind of affect his ability to affect us, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's too far for me to sweep from Bassine. I think. Wait a minute, what am I talking about? I think our P-38Hs have pretty good range, right? Nope. Not good enough. It's not bad, but it's not good enough. We'll just have to bomb with our heavy bombers and just hope we don't lose a bunch to cat whatever cap he has here. Well, also his air capacity is 4. He may have some stacking issues here. That's a lot of stuff. I really need to strategize this because I got to hit this at a very strategic time where he can't position them in another strategic place and prep for, whatever we're doing. So I've got to, it's almost like when my transports are, closing in whatever area here, then I hit this and throw him off. And then maybe he moves his aircraft. They're all fatigued and whatnot. I don't know. I've just got to really time it just right. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to bomb these two bases, the troops there at least, and go from there. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I've got to really plan this out for it to really work as I hope it does. And looking at China as we finish up here, I don't know what to say. I mean, there's nothing really active going on. I'm just trying. Oh, I attacked here and he got out of there. That's funny. He's got two guys here. I wonder if we could take that. Probably not. I don't know. But I've got nothing better to do with these guys, right? I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go back to our position, make him come after us. If I look at roads, see, we got enough of a road network. We can move up here and get back into this position where we block the railroad. And maybe we affected his movement ability because you notice he marched and he's marching straight down here, probably trying to reinforce this area, maybe to push us out. But he's not doing the rail, although he could have come here and railed, but I don't know what he was doing. Um, but I don't like this situation. I'm gonna go here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like moving everything. Maybe just moving back here and then we can sneak around and do stuff that he won't be. No, he won't have eyes on us, but I'm sure he'll fly. Now that he knows we're here, he'll probably fly recon and check our movements and stuff. um, you know what I might do? I might do this. Let's see. Okay, 11, 11. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna bomb and see what he has. These guys will take a couple days to move. If he has just a couple like base forces here or whatever, then I'm gonna go here and assault it, you know? Well, maybe not. He might have some forts there and really beat us up if we try to take it. It may not be worth changing course. But you know what? I'm going to move this way. If we bomb and we decide to change course, we can always backtrack. All right. That's about it. There's nothing even going on in the north, which is where I was most nervous for a while. But he hasn't been doing a lot in the north or the south or the east, so we'll just carry on. So this has been a long synopsis, but um hope it's informative, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care, everyone. See you August 3 for that combat resolution. Bye.